Hi, hello civil engineers. I am Balu. I am a civil engineer. ఎలా ఉన్నారు? I hope you all are doing good. In previous lecture, we have discussed system of forces, problems on system of forces. Today, we are going to discuss law of parallelogram of forces, triangle law of forces, and Lamis theorem. Firstly, we discuss about the law of parallelogram of forces. Law of parallelogram of forces is defined as if two forces meet at a point, their resultant can be formed by law of parallelogram of forces. Actually, these law states that if two forces acting at a point such that they can be represented in magnitude and direction by the two adjacent sides of the parallelogram. The diagonal of the parallelogram passing through the intersection of points gives the resultant in magnitude and direction. Generally, the parallelogram law of parallelogram of forces used to determine the resultant of parallelogram of forces. The resultant of parallelogram of forces form can be determined by derivating the parallelogram. Generally, by taking triangle DAE, we can find the resultant forces, and angle made by the resultant can also find out, that is resultant force R equal to under root of p square plus q square plus 2pq cos theta, and the angle made by the resultant to the adjacent side is tan alpha equal to q sin theta by p plus q cos theta. In exam point of view, the derivation of law of parallelogram of forces is not that much important, but the formulas are plays a vital role in calculation of resultant of coplanar concurrent coplanar forces. Okay, the calculation of resultant and angle made by the resultant are important in problems point of view. Derivation is not that much important, and just remember the formulas, resultant formula as well as tan alpha formula to calculate angle law of forces. It states that if two forces acting at a point be represented in magnitude and direction by two sides of a triangle taken in order, their resultant represented in magnitude and direction by the third side of the triangle in opposite direction to the normal triangle. The resultant can be calculated by using the formula R equal to under root of p square plus q square minus 2pq cos beta, because we are taking about the angle beta, and the alpha can be determined by sin alpha equal to q sin beta by r. By using these two formulas, we can calculate the resultant and alpha value of the triangle forces. These two formulas are used in calculation of concurrent forces of coplanar planes. The next topic is Lamis theorem. Generally, the Lamis theorem states that if three forces acting at a point are in equilibrium condition, then each force is proportional to the sine of the angle between the other two forces. That is, if we take the force P, the force is proportional to the sine of the angle between the two forces. That is, we can written as P by sine alpha. If we take force Q, the force Q is proportional to the sine of the angle between the two forces, that is Q by sine beta. And the final one, the force R is proportional to the sine of the angle between the two forces, that is force Q and force P. We can written as R by sine gamma. This is the mathematical formula of the Lamis theorem. If we see the figure A, it shows that three concurrent coplanar forces are acting at a point and keeps the point in equilibrium condition, that is state of rest, must form a closed triangle when drawn in in head to tail fashion. If we take the force F1 is proportional to the angle between the other two forces, that is F2 and F3. If we take the force F3, the angle theta 3 is the angle between the other two forces, and if we take F2, the theta 2 is the angle between the other two forces. Regarding this topic, they may ask few problems on Lamis theorem. They will ask to find force P by giving all of these elements, and they will ask also the value of alpha by giving these elements. Lamis theorem is important in exam point of view, and put star mark for this formula. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and do support for more videos. Thank you.